the fastest way to buy Bitcoin in Australia from an exchange you can trust. Bitcoin.com.au.
Blockchain technology, it's clear we are seeing something quite revolutionary that's going to change the world.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
It's a huge push to connect the physical world with the blockchain.
It's always a good idea for investors to make the trend good trend.
You're doing good. I'm doing great.
Hello and welcome to Coincast TV. I'm Tessa Dempster. Tonight, Cut Price Cloud Storage, the Norwegian company that's using blockchain to keep your data safe, sound and affordable. Ready Player One, the conference that's just for gamers. And putting the crazy into crypto, we round up the weirdest altcoins on the market. But first, here's Kamer Johnson with the week in blockchain.
The price of the Tether stablecoin fell to an 18-month low on Monday despite a general rise in the wider crypto markets. The Tether US dollar exchange rate fell to less than $1, the lowest it's been since April last year. Tether's price slide was followed by a jump in the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum. More on that later. In other news, financial services giant Fidelity has taken a big leap into crypto. The 72-year-old firm announced this week it's launching a standalone company that delivers crypto to institutional investors. Fidelity Digital Asset Services will provide crypto custody solutions and a trading platform around the clock to align with blockchain's trading cycle. Meanwhile, two former UBS bankers have raised $103 million US to build a crypto bank. Now, heading up Swiss startup Seba Crypto AG, the duo is seeking a banking and securities dealer license to manage cryptocurrency trading and investments for banks and qualified investors. And Apple pioneer Steve Wozniak has joined blockchain investment firm Equi Global as a co-founder. It's reportedly the first time Wozniak has agreed to join a company since leaving Apple for good. That's the week in blockchain.
Blockchain technology is at the center of a new company that's offering cloud storage at a fraction of the price. Iagon says unlike Google or Microsoft, it can offer decentralized storage and processing, and says it's safer, more reliable, and guarantees privacy by using blockchain.
When it comes to cloud storage, all lines lead to Central, but Norwegian-based Iagon is on another track altogether.
So Iagon is a decentralized cloud service that's optimized by AI.
It uses a network of computers and laptops, including the home PC's decentralized clouds of storage for data which has been sharded. The owners of these computers act as miners, who are then paid in tokens for the use of their storage.
So you, in a sense, can be a miner. If you're with your laptop, you can provide storage space, processing power to Iagon. In return, you get tokens.
The company earns a 10% commission from the profits its miners make and uses artificial intelligence to learn about its miners.
So if you're a miner, we're learning your behavior in terms of performance, availability, cost benefit, and trustability.
Information used to give a miner a cloud score.
And based on that cloud score, you can price your services higher or lower depending on the client's needs, right?
Iagon says its decentralized service solves three major problems with cloud storage, including security.
We have no central point of attack, meaning that we're completely secure, and that's the main advantage we have against both sides.
Privacy.
You can only access your data or your files through your private key, and only you have access to that.
And because it doesn't need one giant computer for storage and processing, he says it's much cheaper.
Thereby, we're able to decrease the cost by up to 80%.
Cheap, but not nasty. Iagon guarantees that because the data is sharded, no one except the client can access it, making it hack-proof.
In order to get the full picture, you need all the shards combined together. Then there's no way of telling, from the hacker point of view, where the rest of the shards are.
The private key clients use to access their data is powered by blockchain.
We use the blockchain as a security layer to store the hashes on the blockchain.
The decentralized cloud model is also used for companies or individuals looking for additional processing power.
Let's say virtual reality for VR, They need a lot of processing power. Gaming industry needs a lot of processing power. So what we do is we provide that processing power from these miners.
And it's looking for more customers to get on board the Igon Express.
We would love for you guys to check us out on www.igon.com. Get in touch and compare us with the other projects.
An Australian university is about to roll out its first school of blockchain. The University of Western Australia will begin its course next year because it believes there is too much disinformation being peddled out about the technology.
Blockchain school is in.
There's a lot of misperceptions about blockchain.
Dr. Dirk Bauer from the University of Western Australia wants to clear up those misconceptions with the facts, starting with an education.
In January, we start a summer unit, our first real blockchain unit.
He says excitement amongst students is building.
Yeah, I mean, they find it exciting, but sometimes I was surprised that they're not more excited about it.
Already the United States has several campuses offering blockchain courses in one form or another, including New York University, Massachusetts Institute of Tech, Stanford Uni and Columbia.
It's important to be part of it, and I think this is also what the industry is doing. They see that it has a lot of potential, it may change everything, and so they want to be part of it.
Dr. Bauer wants us all to be more educated about blockchain to combat what he says is fake news on the technology.
People claim that they use blockchain, but they do not really use blockchain. They use digital database, or they just digitalize stuff, but they don't really use the blockchain.
He believes more unis should be offering blockchain courses, saying an education will help because
this is essentially the Wild West of finance.
And he's already gathered a staff of up to 6 people to work on the course syllabus.
We have a PhD student who just focuses on ICOs, initial coin offerings.
He's learned his own lessons from research, including share market reaction to companies which make announcements on blockchain.
And you can see that for big companies, the market doesn't really care too much, which is maybe not too surprising, but for very small companies, there's a clear market reaction.
And by how much?
A 5% change of the share price on that day when they make such a blockchain-related announcement.
He also says there is a correlation between the share price of companies which have made blockchain announcements and Bitcoin.
So when the Bitcoin price was very high, the effect on the share price was much stronger than recently when the Bitcoin price was much lower.
Perhaps the biggest lesson, he says, is that industries should accept that the technology isn't going away.
We have a big new capital market where firms can raise money without that third party, without the bank, without the investment bank.
Blockchain 101.
Now let's take a look at the top cryptocurrencies of the week, brought to you by Caleb and Brown.
This week, the insolvency scare of stablecoin Tether caused a short-lived spike in Bitcoin's price. In a rush to withdraw funds from the Bitfinex exchange, investors purchased BTC. This pushed the price from $6,400 up to $7,800 on the exchange. The sudden 2-hour spike cleared out $60 million of short volume, but over a 48-hour period, short trade volume returned and is now 50% greater than longs, demonstrating a pessimistic sentiment on price. We suspect Bitcoin's price may fall further next week, as those who moved their tethered holdings into BTC are opening accounts in new locations to sell their Bitcoin back into US dollars. On the spotlight this week is the 0x protocol. The open protocol for decentralized exchange on the Ethereum blockchain became only the 6th cryptocurrency to be listed on Coinbase Pro. With the ongoing Bitfinex controversy, we anticipate trading volume to migrate to Coinbase Pro, providing further exposure to the ZRX token. This week, we're also looking at Bitcoin Cash. The Bitcoin fork has been gathering steady merchant adoption across Australia, having fallen to 6.8% of BTC's price. If it reaches the next support level of 5.5% of BTC, it may represent a resilient entry point, as the asset is held by a community of ardent believers in the Bitcoin fork. And that's it for Caleb and Brown's top cryptocurrencies of the week. Back to you, Tessa.
After the break, a look at the week's charts with Data Dan. And Next Level, the crypto conference for gamers.
You're doing good, I'm doing great.
Welcome back. It was a gamer's paradise in Belarus this week, with industry professionals meeting up in Minsk for the Crypto Games conference. The gaming gods were there to see what's possible when crypto, blockchain and online games unite.
One man's hobby is another man's ticket to big prize money and global stardom. And while old school favourites like Pac-Man and Mario Brothers are cool again, the real money is here. The Crypto Games Conference is a chance for leading game developers to gather and talk shop and see what's possible with blockchain.
For DApps developers who do the crypto games, is very important to get some feedback on their game.
On show were more than 100 new games, with developers keen to explore how blockchain and crypto can get the global gaming industry to the next level.
Basically, the next couple of years will be like life-changing for this whole, decentralized gaming industry.
Nowadays, gaming events are competing with traditional sports leagues for live viewership and advertising dollars. In some cases, they even outperform. In 2016, a League of Legends tournament drew 36 million viewers. That's 5 million more than the NBA Finals. And popular battle arena game Dota 2 recently handed over $20 million in prize money to its top players. There's even talk of introducing esports in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
Now to Data Dan with the weekly charts.
Altcoins or alternative coins, what are they and what do they do? Well, sadly, there's no great surprise here. Essentially, altcoins are an alternative to Bitcoin. Given the fact that Bitcoin is somewhat ubiquitous amongst digital currency users and indeed the wider perception globally, it's important to actually understand what some of these altcoins do. The most famous of these altcoins is arguably Ripple. Now, Ripple is tied into the transactions that major organisations, particularly financial institutions, use globally. Essentially, Ripple aims to replicate and in fact compete in this space over the coming decade. However, one of the more interesting alternative coins has been Tron. Now, Tron is not to be confused with the 80s movies of the same name. Tron is a transaction and storage platform that effectively ties into digital entertainment. In other words, what you and I consume as our media. There is, in fact, money to be made in the data space, as they say. So, for people who like looking at Bitcoin or interested in Bitcoin, scratch below the surface. There's definitely an alternative.
It's been a wild week for Tether, with investors giving the so-called stablecoin a wide berth. Its price dropped to an 18-month low, with some reports putting the price plummet down to a loss in faith of the token.
Tether is making headlines for all the wrong reasons, going down when all of its stablecoin buddies are holding strong.
What's happened with Tether is that confidence in people's ability to redeem them for dollars has fallen.
Stablecoin is the term used to describe cryptocurrencies that are meant to hold a stable value. The price of Tether is pegged to the US dollar, so theoretically, one Tether token should always be worth $1. But it seemed to lose its way this week, at one point trading as low as 86 cents.
That's been caused by a number of things. One of which was Bitfinex, who's one of the primary places where people can cash out Tether, having issues with their banking.
Crypto exchange Binance temporarily suspended withdrawals of the stablecoin in the midst of what it called a period of heightened activity. It's all a bit on the nose for investors, and exchanges are moving quickly to list alternatives for their clients. Huobi and OKX have both announced they'll be listing new US dollar-pegged cryptocurrencies this week. Tether's loss was Bitcoin and Ethereum's gain. The pair saw a jump in value following the stablecoin's slide.
People have decided that they're concerned about the risk of Tether and have started selling Tether into other assets like Bitcoin and Ether.
Despite the controversy, the stablecoin market is reportedly seeing strong growth, with a number of new tokens starting to hit the market. And despite the Tether FUD, It's still ranked in the top 10 by market capitalization.
Stablecoins, have risen to prominence because people are looking for a way to hedge against the volatility of other assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum and other crypto assets.
Among the best known is the Ethereum-based and US dollar-pegged True USD and USD Coin, which is the creation of Circle, a Goldman Sachs-backed startup. Both of these tokens are among the new stablecoins that will now be tradable on Huobi and OKX.
I think people need to be wary and they need to do their research when it comes to stablecoins. All stablecoins have risks.
Those risks vary from coin to coin.
When doing research into or holding stablecoins, it's a good idea to look at all of the different risk factors that you're buying into.
Now let's take a look at the projects to watch, brought to you by CTIA.
First up, these platforms are helping you get your books in order. Regulatory requirements can be hard to keep track of, especially when dealing with multiple investment funds and large portfolios. This new regulatory technology, or RegTech platform, is helping users see the big picture. Gecko Governance gives users a bird's eye view on all their compliance paperwork, and Spotcoin is developing a financial toolkit to better bridge the gap between financial markets and emerging digital asset ecosystems. The platform aims to provide access to digital asset markets, over-the-counter trading, mining and payments. Its token sale opens next week. Now that you've balanced your books, it's time for a bit of shopping. This social commerce platform has created a decentralised way to bring brands closer to their customers. On the Fanfare platform, users can create shoppable videos as promotion on behalf of brands. Its public sale is currently open with a hard cap set at $40 million US. Those are this week's projects to watch.
Coming up, a look at the week ahead and the wackiest altcoins money can buy. That's next.
You're doing good, I'm doing great.
Now to the week ahead with Katie McDonald.
The eyes of the crypto world will be on stablecoins this week. Off the back of the controversial Tether price drop, exchanges are rushing to list new stablecoins as an alternative for investors. Huobi and OKX have both announced they'll be listing US dollar-pegged cryptocurrencies this week. Digital currency exchange Coinbase has opened a new office in Dublin as part of a backup plan to continue to have access to the EU post-Brexit. The move mirrors that of many big banks trying to increase a European presence to offset the impact of Brexit. In conferences, sustainable investing in blockchain technologies will be the focus at the Crypto Invest Summit in LA. And the 2018 Korean Blockchain Expo launches next week. Tessa.
We all know there can be some serious money made in crypto trading, but there's also some funny money out there. Here's a light-hearted look at some of the weirder cryptocurrencies.
Ladies and gentlemen, all hail the commander in crypto. Yes, you heard right. In February 2016, the Trump coin was launched with the slogan, "Let's make crypto great again." And for a while it did, with a market capitalization of $386,000 US. Oh yeah, the Trump coin is an excellent coin, everybody knows that. Not so fast, Donald. It seems the coin had a Trump dump, last valued at just under 6 US cents. Not a good approval rating. And you can't mention Donald without his good friend Kanye. That's right, a coin was launched called the Coinye, except the rapper didn't see the funny side and took legal action, and within 6 months it went to #1 with a bullet. And was killed off. Word. If you wanted a coin with an afterlife, then what would Jesus trade? Why, the Jesus coin, of course. Launched as a bit of satire, its creators said its benefits included sin forgiving and record transactions between you and Jesus. It reached a heavenly market cap of $1.1 million US, but has since come back to Earth with the status of .00006 US cents. Oh my God. Can a cryptocurrency become man's best friend? The makers of the Dogecoin think so. Here, boy. Or as I like to call it, the Dog-E coin. And it took off like a greyhound, reaching a market capitalisation of an astounding $269 million. Down, boy. Unfortunately, it did go down. Way down. It's currently worth 0.02 US cents, or as they say on Wall Street, it's a dog with fleas. Maybe the Dog-E coin was chasing E-cats. If it did, it could have brought home the Nyan coin. Hello, puss. With its rainbow backing, it came with great fanfare, only for its creators to disappear like a scared E-cat. But not before sinking its claws into a market cap of $323,000. Now the Nyan coin is currently curled up in its bed with a value of 0.01 of a US cent. Perhaps the weirdest crypto coin of all was this, the useless Ethereum coin. Yes, that's right, its symbol is even giving you the bird. Even though it's officially called useless and came with a warning not to buy it, its creators saying, "You're going to give some random person on the internet money, and they're going to take it and go buy stuff with it." Traders behaved like a naughty kid who does the opposite to what its parents tell them to do, and bought up, with a market cap of $53,000 US. That's up yours. And some people say they just don't get the crypto market. I mean, really.
Thanks for joining us tonight. For more about tonight's stories, go to coincasttv.com. You can also find us on Apple TV and catch some of our stories on the Wall Street Journal online. Coincast TV is on Sky News Extra every Friday at 7:30 p.m. See you next week. Keep hodling.
The fastest way to buy Bitcoin in Australia from an exchange you can trust. Bitcoin.com.au